going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36. And this is Big Games BS brought to you by Did Media Group, presented by TheHumidor.com. TheHumidor.com is a go-to website for all things tobacco related. Type in sport and at checkout, get 20% off. Spend over $150, you get free shipping, whole bunch of other cool shit that they do. So basically, the free shipping 7%, not free shipping 7%. I don't know what that comes out to. I don't know. It's probably save you $10. So if you buy like a $150 box, was that $30? You're gonna save $30, save $40, and it's already discounted heavily if you buy it by the box. So you're probably gonna end up saving about, when it's all said and done, 30 plus dollars. Inside of the world's greatest cigar lounge, I believe we're the world's greatest cigar lounge, but I do know this. We are definitely Jacksonville's greatest cigar lounge, and that's not an opinion anymore. They have this local award show called the Boss Awards. Goodfellas Cigar Lounge in year one, we won the Boss Awards for the best cigar lounge in town. So, shout out to that. Everybody does great work here. So, yeah. I guess is that where you put that in your pipe, smoke it, say shit like that, whatever. But we got that. That's us. We're number one, not the two. Yeah. So I hate starting shows off like this. I'm a guy of nuance and context, right? So if you would, guys, share the YouTube live, do all the other shit for me. I'm really hating sharing it on Facebook. Oh, my bad. I gotta go housekeeping first. My fault. Housekeeping first. Before we get into the real shit, let's get into the housekeeping. Just letting you guys know, in case you didn't, I need you guys to go to my YouTube channel, at Big Game James _36. Go to at Den Media Group. Check those out. Make sure to get those to grow. We get to 2,000 subs on YouTube. On our YouTube for Den Media Group, we'll give $200. We get to 1,000 subs on my personal. We'll start releasing more content on that, and we'll also give away $100. And every time we get to a 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, we will give away 10% of that. So get $5,000, 10% of that's 500. You will have to have listened to the show, but we will give it away while we're listening, while the show is going on. It'll be Cash App, Zelle, Apple Pay, Western Union, wire transfer, whatever you want. We'll make sure we get that. What did Chris say?
He said, "What's up, Big Game? Congratulations on the award."
Yeah, it was kind of cool. Got a lot of bullshit going on over here, but it's a lot of bull right. So I don't know if that's the way you're supposed to say it, but also we got a pretty big tailgate. We have the Labor Day tailgate. You got 2 more days, today and tomorrow, to participate and buy the Labor Day tailgate. If you buy the Labor Day tailgate at $40, you get the spring game tailgate for free. If not, the spring game tailgate is $30, I believe. We were at the lounge on Saturday, and everybody should know Cheese. Everybody in my life is a character. Everybody who's with me is a character in my life. So Cheese is my chef. He does all my tailgates. Said did the Labor Day tailgate, and we'll probably be using Said and Peachy Boys barbecue a lot more as well. We will bring Big Freddie back, so we'll have a rib off. We may even have a rib off, and whoever wins the best ribs gets paid for the spring tailgate. That's just how we'll do it. We'll let the people vote. But Cheese and my boy Will were here, and Will was another 36, former fullback of Florida State, William McCray, and they were just bringing up all kinds of random shit. So last year we had tomahawk steaks. I'm going to give Mike Norvell a tomahawk steak as long as he continues to win. I don't know if that had anything to do with us winning 10 games, but when we weren't giving him tomahawk steaks, he wasn't doing very well. So we have to continue the tradition of giving Mike Norvell a tomahawk steak. We will have tomahawk steaks at the spring game tailgate, but then Will said some shit that just threw me off. I've never eaten duck before, but now we're going to have duck breast at the tailgate, apparently. It is?
Yeah,
Okay, well,
it's good. I
it
like
should be
it.
delicious. I mean, it'll be smoked or whatever. We'll have prawns. I could call them shrimp, but Will gives me these shrimp that are like, ain't nothing shrimpy about them. They like that big, and like so we'll have them. We'll probably have more crawfish. We'll have what else did they say? They were saying some random shit. Duck breast, tomahawk steaks, prawns, crawfish. Matter of fact, if there's something that you want, just go ahead and let me know. We'll try our best to accommodate it. The beer situation won't be handled in this one. You got to be BYOB on the spring game tailgate. We will have the beer solved for the Labor Day tailgate. So, and it may or may not be kid friendly. It just depends. I don't know. It's a long time going, but those links are up. You can go purchase the tickets for that. So now that we got the housekeeping out of the way, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. But technically, this is good stuff for you, like the drink. I drink my vitamins and my tomatoes. So I got olive right here with a little vodka. The tailgates are sponsored by Game Day Vodka. Goodfellas isn't yet, so Game Day, y'all come holler at me. We can make sure we get your vodka in here. I can promote it more on the show and the lounge, but I don't eat a lot of vegetables, so I gotta make sure I'm getting this in. But you know what really makes my stomach bother me?
What's that?
Racism.
On it all.
I don't mind. And again, I'm a guy with context because we're gonna talk about Marcus Stokes again, like we did on the show. I love a good what do you call it? Like it just better be funny. If it's a joke, if it's funny, I'm gonna laugh, right?
Right.
Especially if it's between a good friend. I like to put things together. But some of y'all don't understand it, and you. I also like this is why I don't call 4-5 racist. 4-5 isn't racist. 4-5 is a bigot, and that's President Donald Trump. He's willing to take whatever comes his way, and you know what I can do about that? I can respect that. The problem is a lot of y'all be racist, and you're afraid to come with the consequences. And being called a racist isn't the worst thing in the world that can happen to you. You don't die. You can go to jail for being racist, but like being fundamentally racist is not a crime in America. It's your First Amendment right. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. But a lot of people just don't know how to deal with the consequences of it. People have called me racist. I know I'm not. I was like, if I'm racist, I'm the worst racist in America. Like I employ white people like a motherfucker. Like this shit, that's why I get mad at white people sometimes with the race. And this one in particular stings more because the people involved I've done business with, I've trained, I've done a bunch of different things, and it just caught me off guard. And I'm going to judge myself on this as well. Because I believe this is the American problem. And this is the way that Americans have been dealing with racism for quite some time. When it doesn't affect you, you don't really care. Like, what do I mean by that? Like, to see a person get shot, right? To see a George Floyd or even a George Zimmerman, two different situations, and even understanding of the law. When it's not happening to your friend, your black friend, or your kid, then it doesn't bother you. It doesn't affect you as much because you can kind of keep it at an arm's distance. I don't know the Wimberly family out of Jacksonville, but apparently they're a really, really big deal. Wimbo Slice 3, as he calls himself on Instagram, is a father of four. He's an outfield base running coordinator for the Boston Red Sox. Born and raised in Duval. I see things on his page, and this is what he does: walk off for charities. He does a lot of different things to raise awareness and bring minorities to a sport that has excluded minority, has become like it used to be minority dominant. Again, I love the Negro League museums, and if you're ever in KC, go check out Bob Kendricks and check out the Negro League Museum. My son actually asked me to play baseball this year. His godfather, Terrence Freeman, Councilman Terrence Freeman, the president of the city council, played professional baseball. I grew up with a kid, Malik Smith, played professional baseball, or plays professional baseball. But there's not a lot of kids in those areas because of a lot of different reasons. Very whitewashed sport right now, or very Spanish. I've had the pleasure of training a tremendous. Mike Jones, another kid, not that Mike Jones, but from out of Jacksonville, played professional baseball. Was really, really good at stealing bases and different things. But this is what Wimbo Slice put. Now he's since deleted the Instagram, but it doesn't mean that it did not happen. And I'm sorry if you don't like it. That's not my problem. But as an African-American male who has a son in the city of Jacksonville, I could potentially go to these schools. These are things that I fear as a father. And I'm going to tell you what my fears are as a father. And it has nothing to do with somebody calling my little son a nigger. My family has been targeted, and it's one of the most challenging things we're facing right now. Growing up in the hood, all I ever wanted to do was play baseball. Unfortunately, while playing the sport I love, I've dealt with racism and discrimination. As a minority in this sport, I know this happens way too often, but that doesn't make it okay. To see my nephew experience this type of behavior at 15 has been heartbreaking, to say the least. In 2023, we are still dealing with racism. Playing baseball runs deep in our family, and it's our love for the sport that has given us another platform to excel. The kids involved in these text threads are not African American, except for my nephew. So you want to know what it's like being the only black kid playing on a baseball team. You want to know why we are such a small percentage of the MLB. Most of the time, I do not speak on the issues like this, and I feel bad for not doing so. We are strong. We will fight for what's right. We don't condone hate or violence, but when you're sending pictures of guns and using the N-word, how are we supposed to feel react? If these kids were to follow through with these threats, I would feel like I let my family down. So I'm reaching out for help right now before it's too late. See, people say stick to sports, right? But sports is a microcosm of society. Sports at no given time has not been political. You can get that out of your whitewashed Ron DeSantis history-filled mind. Sports is a place where we have been able to retreat away from everyday life because sports is a great equalizer. But it also, the everyday life dictated how we could play the sport. And as we've seen, when you've gone to battle or combat with people, you start to look at them in a different manner. You start to protect them. Like you start to feel like they're more family. I will say this: some of the best, most heartwarming discussions I've had are with those guys from the '69 and '70s FSU football team that basically desegregated athletics at Florida State. To hear the guys talk about Mr. Hunt, Mr. McMillan, damn, I can't forget everybody's name right now. But the original four black players is to hear the white players talk about them is great. I love it. They still don't understand all of the strategy, all the struggles and the triumphs and the tribulations that they had to go through. But at the same time, it gave them an opportunity. But the reason why we have to speak out on things is because it's not about the vocal minority; it's about the majority. One of the things that the great MLK, whose birthday we just celebrated not too long ago, discussed is your silence is really the biggest thing. And the problem is too often in America, we're allowing the vocals on alternate sides to do all of the dictating while us in the middle, the people with sanity are fucking just being quiet and allowing this shit to happen. But to make another quote, if I don't tell you I'm in pain, you're going to think I enjoyed it. So I applaud him for doing that. I'm disappointed that he took the post down. But I don't know what it was about. But, you know, that was for him. But this is how the whole thing started. and I hate this when people do these things, and some of this stuff was in jest possibly, but it's still bad, poor taste jokes. When's White History Month? It's White History Month right now, was what one of the kids say. Yep, Wimbo, you can't use any of the words in the English dictionary. Sorry, white people made them. Being oppressed. These are some of the things that were said in the now deleted IG3, but there was text messages from a group chat. But here's the ones that really startled me, and when it was put up, a lot of people asked me to speak on it. I said, man, you know, they deleted it. What am I going to speak on? I don't believe in this. But here's where it gets. I say we jump Jack on Monday and break his left elbow and blame it on his race. Jack who? They said his last name. One kid asked, well, why would we do that? Looks like the kid is being very sound and standing up to racism right now. Baby, guy who pegs him. Oh, I'm coming naked. It's basically jokes about rape. It's Chow and Mason's turn. I guess these are players on their team. Fuck Asians. Hate them even more than black people. The kid who asked why would we do that is the kid who says this. Now, the young man saw these texts and he decided to screenshot these things and send it to his parents and talk to them about what was going on. He left the group chat, and this is what the kid said. Jack dipped. Put him back in here. Lame. If we're going to go down, we're going to go down together. And when people, Tanner and I will Black Hawk down the Wimbo residents until the SS are defeated. Kid doesn't know what that is. Another kid says, ain't no way we're gonna have a baseball season because of some joking racism. So again, but when y'all hear these kids come out and say they didn't know what they were doing, they understand. They're 17. Now, the one kid, again, this is maybe this same kid said we're going to Black Hawk down the residents, meaning they want to air it out. If you don't know what air it out means, meaning they want to basically take automatic rifles and they want to shoot. And if you haven't seen the movie Black Hawk Down, the Black Hawk crash, they're defending themselves, trying to get Somalis, but whatever. No, whatever the point is. Now, this is fair right here. If you fuck up, I believe this is where the locker room used to be honorable. I think Wimbo could take a shot at each of us and we just call it even. If you got a strong enough sturdy chin and you just sit there and you allow your racism to let me chin check you, and I'm going to hit you hard enough to make sure you never say shit like that again. I can actually almost respect this kind of justice. In there, and in some of the threads that, they were deleted, they said it's 10 of us and one of him. And then show the picture of the gun. And this was the what he put in the group chat with him holding the gun. 10 on 1. Second Amendment rights right here. Can't buy that. That's not his. That's not his gun. That's daddy's gun. See, racism is a taught and a learned behavior. You can take that off. So, like one of the kids, I won't say which one, but he's committed to the University of Florida, did business with his father. As a black father, you know what I wanted to do this morning? I wanted to drive over with my AR-15. I wanted to drive over with my pump shotgun. I wanted to go have a conversation to see how comfortable, see who he's learning this from. And then when he tells me who he's learning this from, I wanted to have a conversation with them till we get down to the nitty gritty. See, the problem, I believe, is we allow it so that we can be comfortable because we're afraid of losing. And we don't use our platforms enough. But we also don't know context. See, this is threatening. This is racist. This is using a full grasp and a full fucking understanding of what you have. I won't post that. I don't even care about posting that picture right there. A full grasp and a full understanding of what is going on and you decided that you just let them go. Now, I believe they'll sue civilly. This is all at Bishop John Snyder High School. Congratulations, the school in which my sons would never go to. I personally don't think my sons will go to any private school right now. I do know your kids know better. I train lacrosse. Trust me, it ain't a lot of us in lacrosse. But they'll try black kids, but you know what they're not trying? Big ass black men that don't give a fuck. So you'll try in the comments. You'll make the discussions in these things when it's safe. But you won't do it in a manner in which you know you can get your jaw tapped. You won't do it in a manner when you start getting fiscal sanctions, meaning we're going to stop doing business with you and your employers. No amount of marching is going to change this. No amount of we shall overcome. And that's what, again, that's why I don't get why people hate the way African history is taught, because it's taught in such a passive manner and very selective. Nothing in America has been given because it's the right thing to do. It's been taken by force or taken by economic, which is violence or economic sanctions. And it doesn't have to be a black or white thing. It shouldn't be a black or white thing. It should be a right or a wrong thing. If you're reading this or you're listening to this in my voice, you should be just as upset as I am because of this. It wasn't a fun, racist, athletic joke. It was offensive. And what's bad is they know it's offensive. And now they're trying to kowtow. And one of these kids is committed to the University of Florida. I pray that the University of Florida is as swift with their action as they are with a white boy just quoting a rap lyric. Because this is way bigger than a rap lyric. And you wonder why when people tell me it's going to get better, I'm like, you're not hanging around kids. And the only way to eradicate it is if we all come together and just say, that's fucking stupid. And you know what I'm willing to do? Actually, I'll be honest with you. I am willing to forgive. The Jewish people set the new standard. I want public penance. I want a pound of flesh. It was, I forgot the name of the movie. I saw it. It was with Matthew McConaughey. He comes around and he's like, they did something to his wife and his kids or whatever. And what he did was he found the people. He says, you're going to get, I was like, I'm not going to kill you. You're going to give me a pound of flesh. And if it doesn't weigh, and I want exactly a pound of flesh. Like basically telling them you can live. He's like, I'll give you the courtesy of picking where you take it from.
Is this a new movie?
I don't know. I just saw it on TikTok, which is they're trying to ban. Like I don't know, some of the greatest scenes of movies. I've never seen any of these movies, but I'm willing to forgive, but I'm willing to see you suffer in order to get that forgiveness. Because what happens is with us, you're going to find, and I won't be that person. I try not to be that person. Like, you're going to find some black person that's going to tell you it's okay. You're going to kiss their ass a little bit, pay a little, write a check to the United Negro College Fund to keep the shit moving. But I do believe that, and I don't know which parent. Maybe some of them are good parents, good, solid Christian. What do they always say? I'm a good, solid Christian morals. We go to church every fucking Sunday. Like they wasn't hanging niggas outside of churches in the 60s, in the 50s and the 60s. Maybe it was one parent, but I do know peer pressure is this. And here's what we got to start teaching our kids. And this is why I try to tell my sons. And this is why I'm very I'm not afraid of my son going to a private school and this happening. I'm afraid of how I'm going to react when it happens. And I'm not afraid for my son. I don't, unlike a lot of you guys who do go out, I'm ready to be held accountable for anything that I do or anything that I say. You don't like it, that causes you not to listen to me anymore. I really don't give a fuck. I don't care anyway. But if you fuck with my kids and you talk about, I think I saw a great thing today. My mama raised me right. Oh my goodness, my mama raised me right. So right. But I like to do shit my daddy did. So if you don't understand what that means, is I know right from wrong, but I'm James Anthony Coleman II. There's a James Anthony Coleman Sr. that came before me, and that's a crazy motherfucker. And the minute I see violence threatened, not against me, but against my kids, you no longer become a child, and I need to go eradicate the problem.
That's what elevates this, right?
The fact that it was the guns. It's not just a joke anymore. It's like you went. Let me tell you this, as a gun owner and a guy who believes in Second Amendment. Shout out to my guys at Green Acres. I've told my son. Like, it was a video. This is why that video was so important, of the black dad a few months ago that I shared. And people were like, you shouldn't do that. He slapped the shit out of his son because his son went in his gun cabinet, took his guns, and was posting like he was a thug, talking about what he would do to people. And that father went on social media. Matter of fact, that's what I want. I'll tell you the truth. You know what it is? Matter of fact, Josh Roper, you get Jackson on social media. Get Jackson on social media, and you slap the fuck out of Jackson on social media for taking your motherfucking gun and posting up on that. Then I'll know it wasn't you. Because that's what I would do to Trey Coleman or Kai Coleman. You go on internet posing with my guns that I paid my money for, that I'm accountable for, talking about what you gonna do. What I'm gonna do is put my paws on you. Because I'd rather them fear me than they go out there and not fear nobody. Because if they don't fear you, they're not going to fear nothing else out there. It starts at home. You want to talk, y'all, not this person in particular, but some of y'all want to go out here, post your fucking memes, talk this bullshit about, black fathers ain't doing this or raise your kids right, but y'all got this motherfucker. Ain't no over here got kids shooting up fucking schools today in this day and age. They ain't afraid of your ass. You need to put some fucking fear back into them. But the right way, a proper type of fear. My son wants to play baseball. You think I'm gonna fucking put my son in baseball so I can choke out one of y'all pilgrims? Because that's what's gonna happen. It's crazy because it's such a great week of for football and other shit. Like, I don't like talking about this shit. But the reality is, as an African-American father with a platform, this is what we have to do. I wouldn't have to do it if y'all would do it. We shouldn't have to do it. You know what? I know one person, right? I probably could bring him in here right now. He'll tell you without me even having to do that. If I told Scott, man, hey, man, some of these kids, white kids was over here talking about Trey, talking about what they was going to do, Scott would probably go talk to their dad. That's powerful. That's impact. That's when you truly aren't. It's not I don't like race. We don't condone any kind of racism in our house. No, when you don't condone it, you don't condone that shit. You don't hang around people who condone that shit. But like you said, Miles, what escalated it is the violent part. But I will give you this props. I blame rap music. Because y'all motherfuckers around here talking about guns without a full understanding of what gunplay is really about. At what age can we stop saying they're young and making stupid mistakes? I knew a lot at 50. You know what? At 13. You know why I say at 13? So I remember when I was a jit, you get charged as an adult at 13. You make it bad enough. If my son goes out and robs somebody, or my son goes out and viciously beats somebody at 13 years old, you know what they're going to do? They're going to charge him as a fucking adult, and he can go make real life decisions at that age. With his brain not even developed. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. Fuck them. It's just the truth, man. I don't really got much else to say about that, but I'll tell you this much. That's a problem, and it's a problem that's why we go places like I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't happen in the football locker rooms like that. And when it does, it becomes a big thing, like 75%. We wasn't going around there saying like we're gonna hog ties one for Black History Month. We're gonna go get them. Nah, it doesn't happen like that. Anyways, now this is a stupid mistake that I can get behind. That I don't think that his career should be done. This is called a segue. People it has nothing to do with those people. Just trying to get the show lighter. My favorite Pilgrim in college football and his story, and I believe that he was robbed. I believe he should have been the Heisman Trophy winner. And Stetson Bennett, the story of triumph, the tragedy. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this stupid mistake makes me like him even more. It reminds me of the offensive guru Jim Bob Cooter. Stetson Bennett was arrested early. What was this Saturday? Early on, on the 29th for public intoxication. He was out in Dallas. He's doing his training in Dallas Fort Worth. He was celebrating, I guess, a little bit too much. And you know what he did? He got drunk and started knocking on people's doors. This man was, if he was in the Bishop Snyder chat, they would say he was N-word knocking. You know, I'll be honest with it. But the funny part is, you know, Stetson, this wouldn't have happened if you would have been training in Jacksonville with Denny like you were supposed to. You decided to go somewhere else and you got in trouble. They love you here, Stetson. You're basically not be here with your fan base. It wasn't safe. Don't nobody know who the fuck you are in Texas. Matter of fact, you went to Texas after you just sacrificed one of the Christian school. Remember what you just did to TCU? Man, the police officer was probably ready to get your ass. Another quick tidbit on college football. You know, we're going to get into all that, and because somebody says it doesn't mean it's true. Like, unless there's like some real proof. Few rules with name, image, and likeness, right? Coaches can't be involved, right? NIL deals are not contingent upon the university that you enroll. You cannot negotiate an NIL deal with the university until you are signed at said university. So we know these things to be true. So why do we keep trying to make Nick Saban into the saint that he is not? I don't judge Nick Saban. I don't dislike Nick Saban. I dislike the fact that y'all are trying to make y'all try to make football coaches into these Christian savants or these ministers that they are not. Most football coaches are terrible people. Got news for you. But Alabama's Nick Saban rejected 2 players who were searching for $1.3 million combined in NIL money report. It's believed the current player is a starting offensive line. Best corners in the nation in high school came to me and asked if we'd pay them $800,000 for the player to sign here. I told him he could find another place to play. According to Baker High School coach Steve Norman, who was there. When asked about the portal, Curtis confirmed that Saban said this: "We lost 10 players and 1 starter in the portal this year. One of them wanted $500,000 for us to get it and for us to get his girlfriend into law school at Alabama and pay for it. I showed him the door." Now, one, that's pretty noble. It's wise. Get your girl in. I just don't believe it. Because you know what Nick is saying? He's like saying that he had a hand in negotiating deals. One thing Nick is really, really good at is cheating. And he's not going to expose himself in cheating. And there's no way we can prove any of this. One of the things that I really want to happen, we may even kind of delve into this in this next topic, is I want somebody to sue somebody. That's why I was saying with Heitner. I want Heitner to snitch. I need Darren. Darren, I need you to snitch. I want to see this go to court. I like some people just love watching the world burn. And I want to watch it. You know what happens when you go to court? There's this thing called depositions. You know what happens when you're deposed? They ask you a bunch of questions that it's not in front of a judge, but the lawyer asks you questions. And basically, this line of questioning sets up what will happen in a court case. Now, as part of the deposition, you will ask and request certain documents in which the court will say you are authorized to have to give to them. Text messages, emails, phone call records, witness lists. You depose all kinds of witnesses. And you people speak very specific about these things, meaning that I should, if you know, like for example, if you know for a fact that there's a $13 million contract out for Jada Rashada, right? The contract had to be presented, even if it was printed. It has to be in somebody, they didn't type it in a typewriter. The document is on somebody's computer. The document was probably sent to email to somebody. It's very easy to find this stuff. So if all this shit is true, I want to see it. Well, some of us may have seen it or may not have seen it, but like if it's all true, it's just as simple. How do you think John Gruden got jammed up? Racist. He got fired because he called his boss a pussy, and they found out in documents when somebody. What's wild about the John Gruden thing? They found out about him when they were deposing Snyder, Dan Snyder, who owned the Washington Commanders. So y'all keep talking all this stuff and with lawyers who know how this shit works, and nobody's coming up. That's why I say a lot of y'all, we can tell your level of experience or your tax bracket based upon your tweets and how you talk. You've never experienced anything like this. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the truth. These are the facts. Off season is lying season. Nothing better than Caneville. My guy Terminator X. He runs Caneville 305. It's a Kane fan site. They print articles that give you their accuracy rating is like, they got to be shooting at 35%. My guy brags about talking to Lane Kiffin at Tootsie's, and he's in the strip club a lot. And anybody, that's a lot. I don't think he makes that much money to be in strip clubs as often as he is. But this is Lion seasons when you start saying like all these things that happen. But Kane's incoming freshmen asked around and confirmed they are definitely working harder compared to their peers, P-I-E-R-S, that early enrolled at other schools. Peers is P-E-E-R-S. A peer is P-I-E-R. That's like what you walk out to on the water. Or Pierce, if you would, is a British or whatever. He might be Australian. Pierce Morgan. He's a journalist. He talks about things. But nothing better than misspelled. This is why I don't write. I don't know, or I have to have a good editor. Certain words I just type. I talk to text with a lot of my articles. So I'm going to like, it's whatever it sounds like, whatever they believed it was. They're roasting them. But every year, this is the best team we've ever had. This team is more unified. Oh, this is my brothers. Last year's team is not this. Every year, every school, same article written time over and time again. And, just all kinds of other bullshit going on. Another thing, too. Lion season and trolling season. Everybody's rich, right? We rich. We rich, bitch. Mike Norvell is taking a helicopter. At Life Cades 4, who we know probably works at Wendy's, talks about broke boys do broke things. Mike Norvell rented a helicopter. That's like, if you don't, like, I don't know if you guys realize, helicopters aren't quite airplanes. You don't helicopter 8 hours away for like 300, 400 miles away. If you can, you typically want a helicopter in and out. It's really, really quick. A lot of shit has to go down with that. They can get you a long way really, really quick, but it's not supposed to be like a plane. So he did rent it. He rented it. They found the company that he rented it from. There was a tweet like that. Broke boys, they done this. Florida fans, Miami fans out here laughing and kiki-kiing, right? And the boys flying tourist copters while we fly in Augustus. We're not the same. To find out, you know what the Miami guys are doing? they rent helicopters too. Let's just click on the @TBL troll. And I'm gonna be honest with you. One, even if he did rent a helicopter, I love a good frugal ass whoop. Because if we're renting shit and you're splurging on shit and you getting your ass whooped 45-3, you probably should rent shit too. But one person I know they do have money and they're not just renting it. It's Kirby Smart. So if you can click on the first helicopter, you'll see Kirby Smart, and they have it circled, the numbers, because this is what they did to Florida State to find out that they rented a helicopter. That every helicopter has or plane, they all have their numbers, the identifiers on it. So they circle that. That's Kirby Smart. Now, if we would go shift to the next photo, holy shit. It's the same. Did Kirby call Mario and rent it from him? Or are people who actually have money conservative? Is Jay-Z and Beyonce broke because they rent the Kemet from Shad Khan at $1 million a week? Maybe they don't have Shad Khan's money. I can agree to that. But anybody who's renting the damn yacht for $1 million a week is probably in a tax bracket that I don't need. I need to just shut the fuck up on and listen. But this is what Miami fans do. Elite Lost comments maybe explain to me the pleasure that comes from bragging about the amount of money that another man makes. Because, as to quote Sean Carter, respect the game, that should be it. What you eat, don't make me shit. But lastly, a lot of this braggadocious, this bravado, it comes from consistently having lying-ass Cubans. Again, that's why sometimes I get tripped up. People hear the way I talk. They feel like I could be in the Bishop Snyder tweet thread. These are descriptors. I love Cubans. I love Cuban sandwiches. I love Cuban coffee. To be honest with you, one of these days, I've never been with a white woman before, but I would love to have a blonde Cuban nanny with a big booty one day. I know that's probably not going to happen, but, just things that are nice. Cuban culture is dope. These 3, but 2 currently happen to be lying ass Cubans. So I have to add a descriptor to separate them from the rest of the Cubans. You feel me? So that's why I put that. John Ruiz is a lying ass Cuban. Not all Cubans lie, but John Ruiz lies. And I'm starting to think more and more every day that John Ruiz is lying about being an attorney. But I will give him this. He is a man of his word. He said he was going to start suing people, and he sued a guy, or he sent it to court, a guy named Ari Cohen, ARICOHN. And this is why I'm mad that it didn't go through, because I wanted Ari to subpoena all them records. So I want to know who the fuck John talking to. I want to know what Life Wallet really makes. He says, remember John Ruiz, the sleazy, ethically challenged bottom feeder, claiming I violated the RPC for cursing on Twitter. He filed a 100-page bar complaint about me, Snowflake. And this is the wild part, because he's a Republican. My Republican friends always call people snowflakes, but they're always talking about people being mean to them. This man filed a 100-page complaint saying somebody was mean to him. Spoiler alert, the ARDC staffers having staffers with brains was not impressed. So much for schooling me. Dear Mr. Cohn, we have received a communication regarding your conduct from John Ruiz. A copy is attached. We have reviewed the communication and have determined that no action is warranted. We have so advised John Ruiz. So much for showing the liberals. Again, these are the people that Miami fans. I'm not talking to the dumb ones. I'm talking to the ones with sanity. These are the ones that you guys are choosing to place your stuff behind. Come on, bro. Y'all better than this, man. It would not shock you that John Ruiz he talked about something from the third. This is what made it happen. It would not shock you that John Ruiz was disciplined for actual conduct prejudicial to the administration of justice when he didn't disclose that he owned 50% of a defendant company he represented and fraudulently sold its only asset to avoid judgment. This man has actually been brought up to the Supreme Court of Florida and a whole bunch of other stuff. Let's take a look at John Ruiz's incompetence. Someone might want to tell him to check his email because I'm pretty sure he thinks he got me. At minimum, his First Amendment theory isn't working out well for him right now. His tweets and appearance with Billy Corbin weren't very smart. He's saying that he thinks he won, but the facts are that he did. And this is what Miami fans do. They'll just keep it's that 4-5 strategy. We're just gonna keep talking and make people believe that we're telling the truth. But by the way of background, it's anyways. Bottom line is I wish it went to court. I need to see these documents. I might start pressing John Ruiz so that he sues me so that I can go and get after this. Because John, I want to know it all. I want to know it all because at worst, I could lose the case, but I could win in life because it's going to be the bestseller. Because I can't just destroy the document. It's all mine. And I want to know it all. And I know the proper questions, the proper recruits to ask about it. It's wild, man. Wow. All right. More drama. Nothing, again, drama is drama, but the BCU saga. Bethune-Cookman, and this is where the pictures with the boys. So kids are going. So I posted my tweet, my video. It was really just to be funny, talking about how I went up again, like, my first travel game, sharing a helmet in a quick situation. And nobody is more filled with righteous anger and disdain than people on social media with no pictures on their face, like, or their profile pics. They got to know everything. You don't know that. That's a funny story and all, but these kids are going around. Who am I supposed to believe, the kids or you? I don't know. You know what? Fair. What the fuck do I know? Can we show some kids with some helmets? Because they're sharing helmets. But I told them, hell, they got enough helmets. How do I know they got enough helmets? My own kids got helmets. They're talking about sharing cleats. A kid goes on here on a thing and says, we were sharing cleats. And I got pictures of practice with everybody with cleats. I'm not saying that their situations and their circumstance wasn't bad. They also got hit by 2 back-to-back fucking hurricanes. That could explain why some of the I don't know if you guys realize, but in a hurricane, mail has been slow for quite some time. But in a hurricane, shipments don't come like they're supposed to because the truck drivers can't drive. It's not a situation where I know you guys believe like Ed Reed. It's not a situation where you snap your fingers and a building is built. It's a situation where it takes a little bit of time for some things to happen. And I don't really know what else to tell y'all on that shit. But like, they're really going through these times. And one of the things I hit people with logic. And logic doesn't taste good all the time. You know what I'm doing as a parent or I'm doing as a player? The minute I have to consistently share, because you know what that means if you had to share a helmet, you might have shared a mouthpiece because some people have their little mouthpieces dangling down. Like they talk like there was only 11 helmets on the field at any given time. Now I've seen like where they didn't have helmets like for the first day of practice or something, but typically you get all that shit like taken care of. But like, oh, okay, well, don't worry about it. We'll post this stuff again on my social media. But like, but I gotta have a picture right now of my son's when they were here at Jacksonville. And what I always tell people is, I don't talk about things that I don't know about or that I haven't experienced straight up firsthand. So I was a part of a group of people that gave some pretty decent money to make sure that Bethune-Cookman players were able to eat pretty decent while they were here. It was unfortunate. It was a huge strain. They went weeks on the road without even being able to see their cribs. And they needed money, so I gave them that. And I was invited to come out and hang out with the team, watch practice, talk to Coach Sims. I talked to the team. And when I brought my kids, I brought my kids out because I was like, this is an opportunity for them to see an HBCU, and we adopt the HBCU. FAMU is the HBCU that we adopt traditionally because that's where my mother went to school at. But you know, we like that's this is this showing now, or are we about to click on it now? Yeah, right now. So wow. So they're at practice right now, and you know what? Now I guess technically that's sharing a helmet, right? Killer got a helmet. Trey got a helmet. If we can get to, I don't know how easy it is. Just get to the next picture. Okay, can they see this right here?
Yeah.
Hey, do you see any guys in socks right now? Just showing you the proof right here, guys. If they're sharing cleats, there's not a soul walking out there in Crocs right now or in socks. They all look pretty cleated up. They're on the hop too. Got this should be another next picture. There's more guys. I was looking through this to see if nobody had a helmet. You know what everybody seems to have? A fucking helmet. It's amazing. There's another helmet. One thing we do as Black people, we like drama. We love to expose. It's almost like what this young man did in the beginning, the guy did in the beginning of the show. We expose, but we have no plan of action or how to or wait for the stuff to actually do. We also lack context. Sorry, it's there, guys. Like, what do you want me to do? I was there. I saw it. I'm not saying that there's not mold. I'm not saying that a lot of the stuff what I'm saying is what you're doing is you're trying, like, this is why the Ed Reeds of the world are dangerous. You're trying to act like a bitch and it's not helping anything. You want to know how you can get that shit changed? Again, if my conditions were that bad, I am putting in a transfer paper. I'm getting the fuck out of there. But you want to know what some real was it my boy Sugar Free, some real sugar-free toughener. If you could, you would. And that's the reality. They accepted your ass because HBCUs are taking guys who graduate. They'll accept you as long as you graduate from high school. They're the only ones who wanted your black ass. But yet, this is how you talk about those who want you, as opposed to really putting some pressure on them to make it happen. That's why I disagree about how Ed Reeds handled it. That's why I disagree with how Deion handled it. Nobody else was giving your black ass a chance until then. But there's that. If we go and check out, we can just play the clips. We don't have to play the sound with it. But there's the Facebook post where I will say that change is happening. A lot of people are cynical. Why did this only happen because Ed Reed? I don't give a fuck why it happened tonight. It's something to be seen. But the president and the interim president, the athletic director, former BCU alum, Rasheem Mathis, a couple other guys who played in the NFL, Nick Collins, guys who played in the NFL, and Alvin Wyatt, who's a legendary coach at BCU, came down and they discussed things with the young men, and they had like a little town hall meeting. People had conversations. They talked about different things. They said that this was happening, this wasn't happening. And I thought it was really, really good. And this is something that could bring and unite people together. I think HBCUs have to get away from hiring guys who have who believe that they're the savior, or we have to get, actually Black people, we got to get away from the savior complex and realize nobody's coming down from heaven is going to die and raise in 3 days to get us out of our plight. That is one piece of the Bible that's not even as big a piece of the Bible as numerous stories of people going in there and controlling their destiny. David didn't wait for the angels to come in and grant him strength to go slaughter Goliath. His ass went, his brothers was pussies. Everybody else was punking out. So his ass went and got 3 smooth stones and a slingshot and just said, man, somebody got to take care of business. In fact, when Saul tried to give him all of his armor, He said, "That's too heavy, man. That's weighing me down, bro. I don't need the chopper to go fuck this guy up. Just let me come do my thing." Too many of y'all are waiting for what was sold. You're not even reading. You're not even reading the cool stories of the book that can actually empower you and implore you to be able to go out and handle business and do shit the way it's supposed to be done. Which is sad, by the way. Like I always say, man, I want more for us. I want more for my people. Uh, yeah, you can show a little bit. We don't have to play it. Just you can go on Facebook and see it. Again, I thought it was good. I thought it was necessary. I don't care when it was done. I like the fact that we got he's got to be a kicker, right? Like butt it down right in the center with the nose and the glasses. I love it. You gotta get the and then the light skinned Rick Fox looking dude is the athletic director. But you got that. Go check it out. I thought, like I said, I thought it was pretty interesting um with all of that. All right. Shit, we may even have to talk about Championship Sunday another time. What time? How much time we been going? Damn. Fuck Bishop Snyder. No, I'm saying that kind of threw me off through the show. So, anyways, it was a really good NFL weekend. Right now, I was asked on First Coast News, who am I rooting for? I'm rooting for Philly. Numerous reasons. Grandmother's a Philadelphia Eagle fan. Most of my family is from that part of the Northeast. But I follow the Bobby Bowden rule. Bobby Bowden had a rule for whoever he was rooting for. He didn't have a favorite NFL team. His favorite NFL team was the NFL team that had the most no's. And the team that has the most no's is the Philadelphia Eagles. They have four. Um, the Kansas City Chiefs have two. Derek Nandi, who actually got a sack on Trevor Lawrence when the Chiefs play. And then you've got Joshua Kando. You've got Janoris Robinson, Marvin Wilson, who's on practice squad. I'm trying to think who else I'm forgetting. Another defensive end, really good. Can't think of his name. But anyways, you got four guys, five defensive linemen is the which is the craziest thing for us to struggle with getting defensive linemen. Odell Hagen's got five defensive linemen playing in the Super Bowl right now. Six total players, the second highest among all schools this year, and tied for the second most FSU players in any Super Bowl. Every other school will be having all kinds of graphics about this. But one of the funniest things to come out of this, and I guess it's pretty much on theme for before I get into that too, HBCU, shout out to them. Brian Cook went to Howard in Cincinnati. Like the interception that we saw, the tip drill one.
Yeah.
Howard University to Fayetteville State. So two black colleges on that play. So shout out to the small schools. I got a parent that I'm arguing with because he doesn't want his son to go to a small school because he's afraid his son won't get looks in the NFL. And I'm like, boom, right here. I was like, bro, if your son's good, go where you're wanted. Guys, don't be the person to detract to take away from your son's happiness. Let your kid play football as long as they want to. Terrible thing happened. Everybody blamed the officiating for the Chiefs Bengals game. But if you really go down and look, it should be T Black is the one. If you go and you look at this play, it sucks that that it was called. Should be on the Championship Sunday. It sucks that it had to be called. But yeah, just click on the picture. There was no way they can't make this call.
Yeah.
The video is worse from where the referee was standing at. But when you look at this screenshot, this man is almost on the sideline sitting down. And 58 decides to tackle him. Now, if you look at this picture right now, in front of 58 is the cornerback who actually ran Patrick Mahomes out of bounds. The cornerback stops, knowing that Patrick Mahomes is out of bounds. 58 on the pursuit angle decides that he wants to take. So that's one step out of bounds. Two, it was three steps he would have had to take out of bounds in order to tackle Patrick Mahomes. If you're upset that play was called, you're a fucking idiot. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like the referee's hands were tied. It sucks that that's how the game was won. People want to argue, say KC got all the calls. I watched it. I thought it was a really well called game. I thought it was dope. But what do I know? I'll say this. Where did I delete did I delete it? Man, I couldn't have deleted the Tony Romo. Okay, right there. If you go to Jomi AD, whatever, it's something like that. But I'm gonna let you guys again. So black people understand context and nuance. The smart ones. Nobody's smarter than Van Lathan, who absolutely eviscerated a black guy that I hope I never become, like Emmanuel Achu or Marcellus Wiley or any of these other guys. Van Lathan is smart. He's wild. But Van Lathan was picking up, paying attention. Tony Romo's a really good commentator, by the way. But he picked up on something that, we as a family can listen to this and discuss to see, was there a little bit of confusion here? Because sometimes you get excited and the word does slip out. I ain't even going to hold you. But let's just see, because Van asked a very intuitive question, and then the comment section helped us understand what Romo might have been saying.
All right, let's be fair. Let's watch it one more time and see if he was about to say niggas. All right, let's be fair to Tony Romo. Let's be fair.
The extra yards, the tough yards, the finish on the play. Right there, you got three.
Guys.
Do it again. Johnny, do it again. I'm gonna turn it. Do it again. I'm gonna turn it on more.
Hold on. Well, all right, let's be fair. Let's watch it one more time and see if he was about to say niggas. All right, let's be fair to Tony Romo. Let's be fair.
The extra yards, the tough yards, the finish on the play. Right there, you got three.
Guys.
Do it again. Johnny, do it again.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. Sometimes, when you run over three. But I'm not even gonna get mad at Romo for that right there, man. Like, he's excited. Like, he ran. Like, I don't think Romo is racist. I think Romo got caught up in the moment right there. But in that moment that he got caught up, did you recognize the restraint? He pulled it back. Even RG3 called people jigaboos. Which is worse, yeah, because he ran through 3 jigaboos. Mr. Romo was about to say 3 nickelbacks, but corrected himself at NFL on CBS press release, probably. Oh, man. And then people are putting Nickelback, like, not the group Nickelback, even though I don't understand why people hate Nickelback. I like Nickelback. But they were talking about like a nickel corner or something like that.
Yeah.
You'll have to excuse Tony. He's just a big fan of these films. He saw the 3 people and they kicked back. He thought about 3 ninjas. Rocky loves Emily. Rocky loves Emily. See what I'm saying? People we know, God. Like white people, we know. We really do. I promise you. We really do know. It's just, that was fun. Like, he might not have even, I don't know what he meant to say. There's no word he can say that's going to make us not pick on him for it. But we know Romo. We love Romo. Romo has a history of being cool. Romo's biggest flaw is that he can't win playoff games. He dated one of the finest, like I would have smelled. What's the country music singer that he dated? She had a great song. With you, I can let my head down. I can say anything crazy. I know you catch me right before I hit the ground with nothing but a t-shirt on. I never felt so beautiful, baby, as I do now when I'm alone with you. Who made that song? She was married to Nick Lachey. No, that wasn't the one. He was with her too, but Nick Lachey was with her. Her and Nick had a show first, And then he bagged her from Nick when he became a good starting quarterback. Oh, man, now I got to know.
I feel like I could see her face.
Jessica,
Simpson.
was that it? Is it Jessica Simpson? Yeah, it's Jessica Simpson. Yeah, he was with Jessica Simpson. He was dating her at one point.
That's right.
Maybe she wasn't a country music singer. Maybe she was a pop singer.
That's right. I can see her face, but
My bad. I think that's confusing. I think she. Oh wow, that's what she looks like in 2011. Oh man, she aged like milk. That's tough. Anyways, but you know she had 3 kids, so that happened. Man. I'm sorry. Jessica, you're beautiful. I don't want that smoke. But I mean, just going into that, we'll end it with this, man. My Hate O'Clock brought to you by Green Acre Sporting Goods. Green Acre Sporting Goods. Go to the website to get all of your different things. Guys, I need y'all to start promoting this. Go buy your guns, man. Let's get these guys. They're so great. I'm at like the Rainbow Coalition of sponsors. They're Arabic of descent. Scott got mad at me the other day when I said he was white. He said, "Nah, I'm not white. I'm Italian." I'm like, "You're right. Fair enough. Fair enough." He's Italian. He's an Italian from Valdosta. So like, it's just I don't know how that works, but you know, I agree with him. So and we have white people. So like, I love everybody. I love making everybody. I don't believe in America being a melting pot. I believe in America being a salad bowl. A good salad brings a bunch of different textures and tastes together. And it just, when you eat it all together, eat it at once, it's delicious. But you can separate each one still and get the unique flavor. It doesn't have to, you don't have to lose your unique flavor to be an American. I think that's dumb, lazy, and it's because you lack seasoning. You want everybody else to lack seasoning. So fuck you. But Green Acres is my guys. Second Amendment rights. Go to the class. Go do everything that you need to do to load up, lock up, and get ready. Make sure you and the old white man that teaches the gun class will make sure you don't have your children out there posting up with guns, posting up with your guns. Because believe it or not, your stupid ass is responsible for if your child shoots it. I'm telling you, I realized life would change when parents get held accountable. You know what, I make sure my kids are in school every day. It's not that I want them to learn. They can learn on YouTube. If you haven't seen, my 4-year-old's fucking brilliant. I didn't teach him any of that shit. He learned it all from fucking YouTube songs. And it's great. But I'll go to jail. Like, you literally could go to jail if your child is not in school for enough days. The parent is held accountable for getting their child to school. If parents were held accountable for what their children did, that would make you become a better parent. Period. You have to have some kind of grip. Slap the shit out of your children, man. I know what they're saying, man. The parents, fuck them kids, man. Trey getting to the point where now I haven't spanked him in a while. My kid's good, but I told him, bro, I'm gonna fucking punch you square in your fucking chest. Because he's getting a little size on him. He's getting thick. Mama don't scare him. Mama's like somebody, there's only one person that really is intimidating, and that's like me. And then Killer is just a bully, but you can't bully a bully. So I say this to say is, as we talked about, we'll book in the show like this. So if you're new to listening to this, or you're somebody who's trying to figure me out, I'm probably about to confuse the fuck out of you right now with this stance. I think Albany State's full of fucking shit. And I didn't put that on there. But if we could go find, you can type, it's not on there. If you can look for Albany State stance. So we talked about Marcus Stokes, quarterback from Nice. Seems like all the racist shit in the world is happening in this First Coast area. We got to clear that up. One, Marcus is not racist. Marcus is a young man who quoted a rap lyric from somebody named J. Dot, Albany State University, and Marcus Stokes. He's a kid that just wants an opportunity to play ball. What I will say is respectable about him is that him and his family, it's with Quinn Gray, with the blue guy in the blue, him and his family haven't shied away from it. They've kind of cleared off of social media, but they ain't been like saying like, oh, this is unfair, blah, blah, blah. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Quinn Gray wants to fucking win. So when you're a small school and you see a quarterback that's a 4-star that nobody else would touch, You offered the motherfucker. I ain't even holding you. So right after our show ended on Friday, Quinn Gray dropped the wildest apology letter that I have ever seen in my life. I think it might be on my IG too. Like when I was reading it, I legit thought Quinn like did something. I thought he like had sex with a minor or something, or like a minor had sex with a minor whose parent was a professor at Albany State. I'm going to read it to you in its entirety. And what made me mad is that other schools now are following suit based upon what Albany State did. And I don't think that's right. I think you do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, or you do the wrong thing. But like if you're changing up your stance because of backlash for that, then you're going to be, that's fine. But we have to hold that standard for everybody. So this is Quinn Gray's statement. Dear Ramley, let me start with a humble apology. An apology for not honoring the tradition and history of ASU and for letting many of you down. I didn't uphold the Ramley standard that I know you expect. Please know that my decision to speak with a student that did not meet your expectation was unacceptable. I only wanted what was best for our team, athletes, and institution when I invited the student to visit ASU. As I say to our players, there's a consequence for every action. The consequences of my action brought pain to our university. I was trying to help a student get back in competition, and in my haste, I did not consider the impact the decision would have on all of you. Frankly, it wasn't my place to use ASU as the platform for redemption in this case. I regret that I used flawed judgment, and if given the opportunity, here's where it's wild. If given the opportunity, I will do better. ASU expects excellence. The president has made it clear that my actions did not meet that standard. It was never my intent to misrepresent what ASU stands for, nor to ignore the rich history of that institution. I am fully committed to the university's mission of supporting academic excellence and student success. Being accepted into the Ramley is something that you have to earn. The Ramley embodies the spirit, authenticity, and love forged from the toll of giants before me. My actions cause you to question my commitment to our institution and our ancestors. As the consequences go, I hope to find a way back into the Ramley. Without a doubt, I will be all in. Go Rams. Holy fucking shit. You would think that this man really, really did something that was going to shake the foundation. We have got to stop this shit. What better way to show penance and like we've been crying about, well, we don't ever do to people what Kyrie did. What better way? He didn't say fuck all y'all niggas. He didn't say I want to shoot people. I want to go do this. We've got to be able to use context in some capacity. They're right. It's their right to take on this. And people who are saying that the only reason he wants to go to an HBCU is because this happened, the man was entertaining Jackson State before Deion left. Bethune-Cookman was trying to get him until this shit happened. A lot of other, like he would go, like Alabama A&M literally offered him on Friday. And you know what he did? He looked at it as an opportunity. What better way to show that I'm not racist than to go to an HBCU and ball out and bring them championships? Like, I don't understand. Like, but like, I'm looking at what, like you, it sounds like y'all was ready to fire Quinn over this shit.
Yeah, that's what
like, holy, like, okay, forget it. Rescind the kid's scholarship, right? The press release was over the top. Can we at least admit that? I didn't hold to the standard of excellence by recruiting one of the top players in the nation. I embarrassed the ancestors. Quinn's a good guy. I've known Quinn for quite some time. Quinn played for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Quinn was a head coach at the school that I coach at now. He's actually a legend at FAMU. Matter of fact, my nonprofit wouldn't have its name if it wasn't for Quinn Gray. I have the utmost respect for Quinn Gray. I think I have 2 kids that are going to, from my high school that I coach at, that are going to go play for Albany State University. But I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of this shit is pomp and circumstance, because you want to know, I don't really know who the fuck came out of Albany State. And that's no disrespect to y'all, but like, let's just relax and chill on some of this shit. HBCUs went from why not us to why us in a matter of weeks. Just think about it. You got prominent blacks fleeing HBCUs and people and racist whites trying to come and find refuge at HBCUs. Is nobody see the dichotomy, like the irony in all of this? I said that with tongue in cheek. Mark, I want to reiterate, Marcus is not racist. Marcus is a kid who truly made a mistake. He wasn't posting with guns talking about I'm gonna like and rapping drill music. He was literally just it shouldn't have happened, but it shouldn't have happened. And I understand people pulling their scholarships. I hope Florida pulls a scholarship for the one kid who did the other shit. But like at a certain point, we all gotta like we gotta come to the table and just say, hey man, what is this about? Like they treat my guy like he's Dylan Roof.
Take away a job from a black man.
Right. Dude, you are so, oh my God. You're so upset that the kid quoted a rap lyric that you're about to have a whole new coaching search a few days before. Quinn, you should have stayed your ass at Memphis, man. But Quinn wanted to be a head coach at the HBCU so bad that this is a job he wanted.
Thing I don't get, football fans, we know how we are. If we think this kid is good, who's complaining? We're not complaining, right?
Not at all. If he goes out and throws for 400 yards, I'm going to tell you what they would say. The president of Alabama would say. Of Albany State would say. If he goes out and throws for 400 yards, you know what he's going to say? Well, that nigga good. I'm back. He's going to quote, they will put Marcus's video on the Jumbotron and play it. But the real talk, though, this was an opportunity, in my opinion, an opportunity for redemption. There was enough of us who have been willing to vouch for this young man that would have went out and said, hey, man, we think he's going to be good. Give him some guidelines. Give him some barriers. Put him on academic suspension, barring that he shows different things. Force him to go into the community. Have a line of things that you want him to do. And you know what? He would have done it. It would have been a great learning opportunity. It would have brought more publicity to the university, and it would have been great. There were so many things that this could have been spun into. But now you're known for the school that was ready to fire a black guy because he thought about, because he offered. Like the kid didn't even accept. What if Marcus said, I don't want to go there? He was on a visit to West Florida. What did he say? I really like Pensacola and everything that it has to show for. I don't want to go to Albany. Imagine us threatening to fire coaches for who they offer.
Thinking about, don't you always give credit to who for first hiring, first getting little black boys to come play?
Man, listen, what would Bear Bryant do?
Yeah.
This Bear Bryant wanted to win, man. Imagine this. Imagine the president of Alabama coming to Bear Bryant when he offered the black. How dare you offer that little colored boy? You bring them colored boys in here, and you're going to be fired. Now, how do you think that convo would have went? Oh, well, I don't understand their music. But by golly, those boys sure are fast. I mean, come on, dog. It's football. It's football, man. He didn't do anything. He didn't harm anybody. Like he did. Like again, give the kid an opportunity. And if he's racist at an HBCU, I respect it. Actually, you know what? I respect that more. That's what I don't respect about. It's so easy to be racist when you're not around anybody. That's the fucked up part. It's like, how you gonna be racist when it's only one of the guys? Like, you're right. You outnumber him. Like, what do you think? Like, the problem is they already think all these super stereotypes. This motherfucker not John Henry. He ain't a steel driving man. Like, he ain't out here doing this shit. But if you can be 10-1, the odds against you, and racist, I gotta respect. I'm sorry. Like, I ain't gotta like what you do, but I gotta, man, listen, dog. You are holding true to this. You are holding true to this. Like the KKK don't ever do their marches in the hood. You ever notice that? Like, you know, you don't like black people? Cool. Go where you don't like them. Eradicate it. Let's really go here. What about Chicago? Why don't you guys? We need to get rid of all them. But take your ass to O Block then. Please, I'm with you. Like, I want to get O Block to change too. Nothing more than we're gonna take our guns and we're gonna take your ass right over there. People are so angry. It's like the video with the two dogs barking at each other with the fence there. And then when the fence moves, they're just like, no, I don't want to. Great opportunity, missed opportunity. But it's their toy. They do whatever they want. They play with it however they want to play with it. But the reality is, it is football. Yeah, so on that note, happy birthday to my guy Sam Moore. Listen to our podcast. Go check out his podcast. Sam is out here tweeting. Sam got a girlfriend, acting real different now. Congratulations on the sex. I want to say that. Like, you know, putting up here pictures and shit, smiling and cheesing. That's what happens. Again, remember when we talked about it. Good CUDA changes your demeanor. Like, you know, when you get some good CUDA in your life, you start acting a little different. So y'all go wish him a happy birthday by going and subscribing to the Listen Up podcast on YouTube. You know, nobody really gives a fuck about the other shit. Just go to YouTube right now. Click on those. Please go check out my YouTubes. Click on those. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. We've got shorts that we're adding to the Den Media Group page. All kinds of different things for you to be able to enjoy and entertain yourself. So I appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me. We will see you guys next time.